This is Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Alright, man, so the last few days I've been seeing a lot of articles related to Tony Bellew. Even seen Dillian White come out, and him and Bellew's been going back and forth. White told him stop talking rubbish, and he wants to fight him, or let's fight. Dillian White came out and said he will be back May 27th. So curious to see what Dillian White does. But, you know, at first, man, with Tony Bellew, when he beat David Haye, it was kind of like, okay, you know, that was a good fight. He stepped up to heavyweight, you know, just to fight David Haye. They had a grudge. Okay, cool. You know, then, you know, he'll go back to cruiserweight and he'll fight Huck or the Breedis, Huck or Breedis, the winner of that fight. You know, that's how I was thinking at first. But the more I think about this, I say, man, let's not close the door on Tony Bellew. Let's let him in. Let him in. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, whether you think he's going to win or lose, or he doesn't belong, or he's too small, or whatever you believe, you know, that's fine. But I'm going to stick by the way I break down fighters as far as, you know, the way I look at boxing, like the criteria and standards, you know what I mean? So I'm going to just go by what I always think, man. So we all entitled to our own opinion, right? So my thing is, Tony Bellew has put himself in a good position. Now, yes, David Haye tore his Achilles. He ruptured his Achilles. That's a fact, okay? But that's not Tony Bellew's fault. You know, he suffered, he had an injury with his knuckle, or he broke his hand or something he had to have surgery on. And then I think he was saying something about his knee before the fight, something with his knee, but he didn't bring it up, you know, leading up to the fight. So he has some, you know, he didn't go from that fight unscathed. You know, he had his injury too, probably not as severe as David Haye. Okay, so yeah, I understand David Haye's injury, and I'm taking it into account. But at the same time, Tony Bellew won the fight. You know what I mean? The man won the fight. When it was all said and done and the final bell rang, his hand was up in the air. You know what I mean? He did what he had. You know, he went out there and he lasted. So he is a cruiserweight title holder. Doesn't mean he's the best cruiserweight. Could he beat Usyk? I would favor Usyk in that fight. Usyk has a fight coming up with Hunter. You know what I mean? But could he beat the winner out of Huck and Breedis? I don't know. You know, you can argue that he's not even the best cruiserweight out there. Some people may believe he is. You know, but the thing is, he's won like 9 straight fights, picked up the title. He's been around the block, man. He's 34 years old. He's not some young pup. He's not just getting started with his career. I know he fought at a much heavier weight in the amateurs. You know, so is he, you know, and then unless David Haye is 6'2", because they list them both as 6'3", but Bellew looked like he at least has an inch on David Haye. So either Haye is closer to 6'2", or Bellew's closer to 6'4". You know what I mean? But he's not small. You know what I mean? Yes, he isn't 6'8", 6'7", but 6'3", you know what I mean? Doesn't have the longest arms in the world, but what he has I don't know his reach, man, by the top of my head. I don't know, but I think it's like 74 or something like that, 76, somewhere in there. So he doesn't have the shortest reach, you know what I mean? But obviously it's not the 84 like a Brian Jennings or Luis Ortiz, you know, so forth. You know what I mean? But the dude can fight. He's won a world title. He's tough. He knows how to handle himself in the ring, and he will come to fight. You know, so is that enough for him to beat one of the other heavyweights? I guess it depends. You know, if you put him in there with like a Brian Jennings type, that would be an interesting fight. Andrew Ruiz Jr., Jarrell Miller. I mean, all those would be interesting type of fights to me. You know, so I wouldn't mind seeing him in another fight, and I think him trying to get a fight at heavyweight right now is a good thing for him. Now, who can he fight? Dillian White. Look, if Dillian White has no dance partners, to going into the back half of this year, if he has no dance partner, if the WBC is not setting him up in any type of eliminator fight, I know he just fought Chisora, but if he's not fighting anybody, or has anybody coming up, I would love to see that fight. I would way rather see that fight than Dillian White in a stay busy fight against a journeyman. To me, it's kind of easy. It's like Dillian White in a stay busy fight against a journeyman, or Dillian White versus Tony Bellew. Like, give me the Tony Bellew fight. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson Fury and Bellew have been going back and forth. I've seen over the last week or so. On paper, yeah, and just thinking off the top of my head, I got Tyson Fury by far in that fight. But if you break down the fight, even the Dillian White fight, I mean, I can break down these fights stylistically, and it makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Some of these fights. Tyson Fury, if he comes right back off a comeback fight and he wants somebody that'll challenge him and he wants to take Bellew, I think that's a good fight. Bellew wouldn't have to worry about the big punch. Fury has been down. Shit, Cunningham put him down. Right on his back. Now Tyson Fury got up and stopped him. You know what I mean? But maybe just the overall size and just the physicality that Tyson Fury could apply could possibly wear out Bellew and get him out of there with accumulation of punches from a big man that's going to outweigh him by, I don't know, 40 pounds, 50 pounds or whatever. You know what I mean? Can just wear him out. Or maybe Tyson Fury will elect to go in there and, as him and his camp love to say, take him to school. You know what I mean? School him. Who knows? I'll favor Fury, but it's intriguing. At the very least, I believe it is intriguing. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, Cunningham put him down, and, Bellew likes to throw that right hand. You know what I mean? So I think it's intriguing, especially if it's just a comeback fight. If it's his first fight back, again, do you want to see Tyson Fury? Now, some of you may disagree. Some of you probably want to see Tyson Fury come back and knock off the rust against a journeyman level fighter. And that's fine if you believe it. But for me, sign me up for Tyson Fury versus Tony Bellew for his first comeback fight. Sign me up for that fight. You know what I mean? And then the possibility of we've all heard that Tony Bellew's thrown his name in there fighting Deontay Wilder and possibly fighting the winner out of Hughie Fury and Parker, or at least fighting Parker. But I wouldn't see why he wouldn't want to throw his name in the hat for Hughie Fury if he were to beat Parker. You know what I mean? And then him beating David Haye. Now, whether you like David Haye, you don't respect him, or, that's cool, man. But David Haye, David Haye was in a good position because he had a name. He is somebody to add to your resume. Last time he fought, or last time he lost, was to Vladimir Klitschko. Now, yes, Mark Demore and Arnold Jergjai were not, top competition. All right, nobody is saying that, but David Haye has championship pedigree. Was a good amateur. He's still a name, and he could sell a fight. And just kind of, you didn't really know what to expect, when David Haye got into the situation he did, and he got injured, you know what I mean? But still, that's a good name to put on your resume, especially for Tony Bellew. So I think he does need to use that. He put himself in position. He went in there and fought, man. The dude gave it his all. He went in there and fought. You know what I mean? So, and again, some of these heavyweights aren't that much bigger than him. They may be stronger, but but if you look at just some of the reach and the height of some of these guys, they're right around the same dimensions as Tony Bellew, like a Parker, Dillian White, guys that are like that. Now, I'm not saying that Bellew is stronger than them. I'm not saying that, but it's not like he's going to go in there and just get overwhelmed by a guy that's 7 inches taller than him, 11 inches on reach. It's not like it's like that against those type of guys. So, and Bellew's not a stranger to the ring now, man. It's not like he's just some guy, that we're putting in there and we're scared for his life. At least not against every guy in the division. You know, so I don't know, man. I've seen guys go into fights, let's say like Luis Ortiz, for example. Now, I would pick Ortiz to beat Bellew, but I mean, if David Allen can give Luis Ortiz some rounds and can, I mean, I would expect Bellew to go in there and give him a tougher fight than that. Not to say that I think he'll win. He may get stopped quicker, but he may have a different game plan. I think he could be more successful than David Allen. You know, I would favor Wilder in a fight against Bellew, but shit, I think Bellew can be just as successful as Artur Spilka. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Maybe that's just me, but I don't look at Bellew like he's a top five heavyweight, but I think he can go over there and give some of these guys a lot tougher fight than seeing them in with somebody in a stay busy fight or a fight against a journeyman. You know what I mean? Let's get some excitement behind it. This is what some of us fans were complaining about years ago, about the heavyweight division not having enough characters and personality, and here it is. You know what I mean? Heavyweights are going to come in different shapes and forms, man. We're going to have some that are moving up from cruiserweight or light heavyweight one day. We might have some that are natural heavyweights, even from the amateur ranks. We're going to, man, look, I don't care how they get here. Let's just get them, you know what I mean? Let's just have rumbles, man. Let's have these fights. You know what I mean? Bellew positioned himself, man, by beating Haye. Had he lost, we wouldn't even be talking about Bellew fighting heavyweight. But he won. He positioned himself, so the man want to go up and, you know, get a good competitive fight at heavyweight, shit, let's see it. And if he gets knocked out, then he gets knocked out. You know what I mean? And if he wins, then he keeps going, man. You know, that's how I see it, man. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.